What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, and you tune into another edition of my vlog. I want to say thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for all your support. You know, I'm all about the positivity and the motivation, and I know a lot of us are anxiously awaiting the end game. You know, what's going to be the end game for all of this? What is the objective? Is this a reset? Because it certainly appears to be when you think about, you know, when you're playing a video game and it's just, you're at a level where things are just spiraling out of control. You wait for it to get to a point where it's just time to start over. And I've never read or heard about it in history where there's actually been a shutdown of this magnitude worldwide. I know that we're dealing with what they call a pandemic, you know, aka virus, in which a lot of people have benefited from and a lot of people have suffered from. But I've never imagined that something of this magnitude would shut down every facet of the economy to the point where you got almost a zero. And when you get to a zero, in order for all the players in the game to be able to start over and continue playing, you have to dish out, you know, some type of new medium of exchange. You know, if it was playing a board game, everybody would go to whatever banker and get a fresh, you know, a fresh hand of cash or whatever it is, like Monopoly. You know, all the properties bought, everybody's bankrupt, so you start over and you guys start from zero again, and everybody gets a chance to rebuild. Well, let's hope that this Monopoly game, which has reached a point that debt and ability to pay and you know, whatever other misdealings, corruption has become beyond you know, containable, and we get a reset so all of us can start fresh, because after this we're going to need one. You know, most people, especially mom and pop businesses that have built their business over the last 20 years, whether it's a barber shop, dry cleaners, nail salon, automotive, construction, service industry, you know, these people are really hurting right now. You know, anybody that's invested in a 401k have lost a significant amount of their 401k, which is, you know, they've been paying into for years. People that were, you know, somewhat day traders in the market have lost a big chunk of their investment. People everywhere in every facet, man, are just being hit, man. Families with kids, having to deal with kids and self, you know, homeschooling and just making sense of all this is rough. So, you know, I feel for fellow Americans, man. Fellow Americans that are trying to make, you know, sense of all this, because it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't make sense that something like this is that detrimental to our society, to the point where we have to totally shut down. And I'm just so tired of the media, man, talking about all the doom and gloom, and they're not telling us how many people have recovered, how many people are getting well, about the various solutions to this, as far as like the hydrochloroquine and azithromycin. They said that the FDA approved to help people who are having these symptoms, and some of the other cures that are out there. I mean, nobody's talking about that. It's all about this, this peak, this spike, this wave that's going to hit us, and who knows what that wave's going to be. But we have to think about the end game and having some hope. And although we have this social distancing, communicating among each other, and maybe bringing us closer together to an extent, even though we can't really get that close together. It's a time for people to, to some degree, put away their phones, because it's just redundant, and to talk, get into the habit of talking and socializing in a safe way. But I don't know. I just look at it. It's got to be a reset, man. It's just, like I said, it's like a board game that's reached its pinnacle, and the pieces are all on the board, and there's nothing else that could be done on the board. So you got to wipe the board clean and start fresh. So if this is a fresh start, hopefully this is a new beginning for our country, and those who have dreams and hopes of providing for their families, their kids, and a reboot of the health system. Just a lot of things that need to be cleaned up. A lot of the debt that's been accumulated through just fraudulent practices with the banking system. Just a lot of things, man. A lot of things that nobody really pays attention to, because they feel as though if life is normal, I don't have to think about it. I don't want to think about, a lot of the things that's taking place behind the black curtain. And when it's all said and done, these people who we have supported as far as in political positions, you guys need to really question whether or not you want to keep them in office, and decide whether or not you want to start making some different choices, because maybe you didn't participate in local politics or stately politics before, but now you might want to rethink that, because you will definitely now have a voice because of the direct impact. So think about that, and wake up, man, and ask yourself if this is a reset or what is it. What's the end game out of all this? And I'm no expert. I'm not downplaying people who have been sick, but I always look for hope. I mean, I've been on a lot of lockdowns in the penitentiary, and all I could think about was hope. I used to meditate in there and pray that, that it wasn't like they were going to come in there and wipe us out. And after the lockdown, I would just think that I'm so blessed, and I would look forward to the day that I got out of that situation, so I had more freedom. And now here I am on the streets, and my freedom is being compromised still by things that are out of my control. So the sense of hopelessness, I fully understand a lot of you guys. I've dealt with it, and it's not a good feeling when you can't control certain things, and you can't change things. So all I can say is that you have to mentally just try to find the inner self that makes you stronger, and just get a grip on it, man, so you don't lose it, because these are challenging times, man. So holler at me, man. BigHerc916.com is the website. I'm here, and hopefully you guys could feel a little better at the end of the day, man. I'll holler.